Be so proud of yourself for accomplishing that thing. You're like, oh, I can't believe I did that. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Miri. Thanks so much for being here. Today we're talking about procrastination, or how to deal with procrastination and how to get stuff done if we don't feel like doing it. Let's get into it. Being productive and looking back at the end of the day on your to-do list feels really great. You're like, oh yeah, I did so much today. I accomplished all these things. But the truth is, not every day is the same, and sometimes we're just having days where we don't feel like doing things and we are procrastinating. And that is totally normal. I want you to not be too hard on yourself, but there are certain things that sometimes need to get done, and we're kind of pushing them out to the last minute, and then we get really stressed. And I can talk about this myself because I used to do that too, where I was just like pushing it to the very last second, and then I had to get it done, and for some reason my brain thought I was being more productive if I push things out towards the last minute. And I made an excuse for myself over the years by saying, oh, I'm just being very productive, or all these ideas are coming into my mind when I'm doing things last minute. But the truth is, I was so stressed out and I had to get it done, and there was no way around it. So whether that be schoolwork or something for university or work, I have a couple of tips that helped me that I want to share with you. The first thing I like to do is writing a list. And I know to-do lists are very fun if you can tick off things. But for me, I started doing like a done list, and I would write things after I accomplished them. So I have two lists. I have a to-do list and then I have a done list. And on the to-do list, I'm trying to keep it at maximum 3 things that are really important that would make my day feel successful. The problem is, if you write down all these little things, let's say you have a really big work paper to finish, but then you also put things like, oh, I would need to be doing laundry, I need to do the dishes, I need to clean up, I need to talk to a friend, and you write all these little things down. You might get distracted by doing these little things, and then the actual biggest thing, working on your paper, is getting in the background and you're kind of pushing it away. But it gives you the false feeling of, oh, I accomplished so much, because you can tick it off your list. So I would keep it to maximum 3 things, and you can phrase it like that. What are 3 things that would make today really successful if I've accomplished that? And then write them down. And then I have a done list, and that list feels really great because you can just write at the end of the day and just tick everything off, because on that list, because it's things that you have done on that day, there's nothing that's left open. I think it's not so satisfying to look at a to-do list and see even 3 out of 5 not being ticked off. Even though you did a couple of things, it's not as satisfying as the done list. A really great thing that has helped me a lot is having an accountability partner. And for example, if you're trying to be more healthy, going to the gym, eating more healthy foods, it's really good to have somebody that has a similar or the same goal as you, because you don't want to disappoint the other person. It's a weird paradox, because why would we want to disappoint ourselves? But it's, if you have somebody else with the same goal and it's a friend of yours, you're like, yeah, we're going to do that together. You have that accountability and you're like, okay, we're doing it. I signed up for this. We made this goal together and let's tackle it. What I did last year was actually, I did a mindful manifestation month, where I would have a separate Telegram group and private YouTube videos, which I said I would record every week. And I also send in voice messages with affirmations every single day. And that was going on for the whole month. And when I decided to do that, I was like, I think I'm gonna get to a point where I probably don't want to do it. Or where I probably feel like, yeah, maybe just like not uploading a video this week. I also did it in 2 languages. So I did a YouTube video in German and in English. And that just added more work for me. But for me, I didn't have an accountability partner in that sense that it was one person, but the people that signed up for that free manifestation month, they were expecting me to deliver. So I knew I had to. And it was kind of, I don't want to call it pressure, but it was a good push for me to be accountable for myself, to be like, okay, you promised that you would do these things. You promised that you were gonna upload these videos, that you provide these PDFs and the affirmations. So you have to pull through on it. And it was really interesting because after 2 or 3 weeks, there was this point where I was like, oh, yeah, I still have to record that video. I still have to upload the PDF with the work files. And I really had that in my mind. I'm like, no, you're pushing through it. These are all your accountability partners. They rely on you. And I did it for the whole month and I was so proud of myself. And I got the feedback from a lot of people. They were like, wow, it's so astonishing and like so cool that you went through with it. I don't think I could have done it for a whole month because that's a lot of work that you put in. And I was like, actually, you guys have helped me achieving that goal, because if it would have been just me by myself, I think I might have slipped. Same as like having a YouTube channel, right? You're saying you're posting a video every single week, and of course things come up and personal things happen. People know that you say, oh, I'm posting a video every Wednesday, so they might come back. So that's a good accountability to have too. And if you can find something like that, either an accountability partner or something that really has to keep you accountable, it's a really, really good productivity boost and push. Another technique that is very common, but I want to mention it too, is the Pomodoro technique. And it's basically splitting your focus time up in little chunks. So the Pomodoro technique usually works with 20 minutes of focused work and then taking a 5-minute break. Then you're going back into 25 minutes of focused work, then taking another 5-minute break. If you're doing more than 4 sessions, you can extend your break time to 15 or 30 minutes. It works for a lot of people. I've done it a couple of times and it sometimes works and it sometimes doesn't. I feel like you have just to really get rid of all your distractions. I think the phone, for one thing, is a really big distraction, or like just any kind of notifications and emails. So if you can really set the time aside and have like a quiet space for you where you can really work focused, that is a really good technique to try out. Let me know if you have done it before, if it works for you. I feel like it depends a lot on your surroundings. So if you don't have a quiet space, let's say you're in a work environment and everybody's just bustling around you, you might not be able to do that because you're getting distracted. Other people come to you and ask you questions, or if you're at home, you have family, kids are coming running up to you. It might not be that easy. Yeah, try it out. This 25 minutes is just a suggestion, but you can try it with 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I think it's really good for studying or like schoolwork if you have the space and time to have a quiet atmosphere around you. And one of my very favorite techniques is a technique by Mel Robbins, and you might know that because she's amazing. If you don't know her, please follow her, and she has a great Instagram, social media, and she has something that's called the 5-second rule. And I'm not talking about when the food falls to the floor and you're picking it up and eating it, but technically whenever you feel like not doing it, you give yourself 5 seconds. You count down, whether out loud or in your head, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you're doing the thing. And whether that is going to the gym or doing the dishes or whatever it is, just having that small countdown is like a little push to get you going and into the right direction. And it sounds maybe silly if you've never heard of it, like what does counting from 5 to 1 do for you? But try it out. It really works. The 5-second rule is also really great to break bad habits and negative patterns, negative thinking, thoughts of self-doubt and just like not feeling good enough, because you can count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and then just move. This movement creates a ripple effect of going forward, of actually taking one step at a time instead of sitting there and being in your thought spiral of like, should I do it? What if this happens? What if that happens? And you're dragging yourself down longer than you need to. And by having this countdown, it's like, okay, I'm gonna give myself 5 seconds and then I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna give myself 5 seconds and then I'm gonna make that call. So it's a really powerful technique, and I would highly suggest, if you've never tried it, to do it. I can give you an example. A lot of you might know that I used to dance a lot. I was in all these classes and auditions and stuff. And sometimes in class, the teacher would ask for volunteers at the end of the combination. And if you've been in the same scenario where you feel like you're doubting yourself and you're like, oh, the other people around you are so much better than you, I was literally sitting down and the teacher would ask for volunteers, and in my head I was going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's do it. Don't even think about it, because once you're in that thought spiral of overthinking it, sometimes the chance to do it has passed, and you're gonna be so proud of yourself for accomplishing that thing. You're like, oh, I can't believe I did that because I just wasn't thinking about it. So really, really try it out, and I hope it helps. Let me know. I've said it in the beginning and I'm gonna say it again. Do not overwhelm yourself. Don't beat yourself up for not being as productive as you want it to be. Every day is different. Your best version of today looks different of the best version of yourself tomorrow. And it happens. Like, we have times where we just don't feel like doing anything. That's totally okay. Give yourself rest too. Sometimes we can get into the spiral of just doing, and then we don't even know what rest is. We sit down and feel guilty about sitting down. So please just be nice to yourself and give yourself grace. What has helped you being more productive or getting out of procrastination? Let me know in the comments, and I'm sure it will help other people as well. If you found this video valuable, it would mean a lot to me if you could like this video. It helps a lot, and I will see you in the next video next week. I hope you're all having a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.